A cafe in Seoul. Lunch hour. The place is packed, every table occupied. Someone sets their laptop on a table, walks to the bathroom. 10 minutes pass. People brush by the table, chairs scrape, conversations overlap. The laptop sits there untouched. Nobody even glances at it. It might as well be nailed down. Same city, same moment. Gangnam Station subway platform, raining. Rush hour crowd. Someone sets an umbrella down next to a bench, boards a train, settles into a seat. Halfway to their destination, the realization hits. They get off at the next stop, rush back. The bench is still there. The umbrella, gone. Vanished in under 15 minutes. Same city, same people, same day. So why does one stay safe while the other vanishes? Look, I dug into the numbers from Seoul's subway system in 2024, and honestly, they're bizarre. Cash loss that year, 569.5 million won. That's about 427,000 in American money. Just gone, scattered across platforms and train cars. The return rate? And this is where it gets weird. 77.2%. Wait, let me say that again. Over 3/4 of lost cash finds its way back to the owner. Bundles of $3,650 in cash returned. A solid gold toad ornament, someone's good luck charm, returned. Wallets came back 23.9% of the time. Phones, 15.5%. Think about what that means. 8 out of 10. Strangers will chase you down to return your wallet. That's not just good. That's not even just honest. That's statistically anomalous on a global scale. You could run that experiment in most cities and get single-digit return rates. Umbrellas, I checked. No data. Not even tracked. The transit authority doesn't bother recording them. There's a running joke in Korea: bicycles and umbrellas are public goods. Ownership is negotiable. Temporary. Fluid. A colleague once took someone's umbrella from the office. Just walked out with it on a rainy afternoon. When confronted the next day, the response, "Yeah, sorry about that. I'll buy you a coffee." A coffee. That's the price of absolution. The entire moral transaction settled over $375. So here's the first question we need to sit with. Are Koreans honest, or are they just trapped? 20 million CCTV cameras in South Korea. I had to check that number twice because it sounded absurd. One camera per 2.6 people. Subways, buses, building hallways, side streets, residential alleys, the corner store. Dashcam adoption in vehicles? Basically 100%. Pull up to any intersection in Seoul and you're being recorded by a dozen devices simultaneously. Every movement you make is archived somewhere, time-stamped, retrievable. Steal a $500 laptop? What happens? It has a serial number, probably registered. Your face is on camera, probably from 3 angles. The cafe owner checks the footage. Police get involved. Capture rate? North of 90%. And when they catch you, criminal charges, financial liability, social exposure, you don't just get a fine. You become the person who steals laptops. Your friends, family, your employer knows. The punishment doesn't fit the crime. It obliterates your life. That's why the $3,650 cash bundle gets returned. The gold toad finds its owner. The designer bag stays put. Not because of virtue. Because theft is a binary switch that can't be undone. You either live your life or you don't. I'll be honest, this makes me uncomfortable. I can't always tell if we're honest people or just people being watched. The line blurs. But okay, flip it. Why do umbrellas disappear? A Korean city tried something in the mid-2010s. They called it conscience umbrellas. Free umbrellas at subway stations and public spots when it rains. Use them, return them when you're done. A beautiful experiment in trust. The kind of thing that makes you want to believe in humanity. The return rate? Abysmal. People just kept them. Walked away. The program collapsed within months, quietly shelved. Why did it fail? No cameras monitoring the umbrella racks. Zero surveillance density. An umbrella costs 5,000 won, about $375, the price of a latte. If you get caught, which you won't because nobody's looking, it's not even a crime. It's an awkward apology and maybe buying someone a drink later. The risk-reward calculation is instant and obvious. So let's test the middle ground. What happens between the laptop and the umbrella? Unmanned stores. They're exploding across Korea right now. Convenience stores, cafes, little shops with no staff. Just cameras, a payment kiosk, and trust. Walk in, grab what you need, scan, pay, leave. Sounds like progress, right? Like evidence of an honest society that's moved beyond the need for constant supervision. The numbers tell a different story, and it's not pretty. Theft cases at unmanned stores 3,514 in 2021, then 6,018 in 2022. That's a 71.2% spike in 1 year. Not a marginal increase, a surge. Here's what's happening. Cameras are present, mounted in corners, visible. But no one's watching in real time. No employee behind a counter making eye contact. The products are low value. Drinks, snacks, instant noodles, things that cost a few dollars. A camera in the corner plus cheap goods plus no human presence equals invitation. The absence of a manager becomes permission. The camera's just evidence nobody will check unless the losses get catastrophic. Store owners sit down, pull up their spreadsheets, do the math. Monthly theft losses, somewhere between $225 and $375, depending on location. Annoying but predictable. Cost of hiring even a part-time employee to cover peak hours? Over $7,500 a month minimum. The calculation takes 30 seconds. The conclusion? It's cheap, so we tolerate it. The stolen ramen, the missing coffee cans, they're not crimes worth preventing. They're line items, acceptable loss. And there it is. The middle zone we're trying to map. Not expensive enough to be sacred like a laptop. Not completely unsupervised like the conscience umbrellas. These items enter a third category. Things we know will disappear and we've decided that's fine. Back to the subway. Rainy morning. You checked the forecast at 7 a.m., grabbed your umbrella, went to work. 6 p.m., time to leave. The platform's crowded, everyone rushing home. You walk to the umbrella rack. Your umbrella's gone. 3 options appear in front of you like a multiple-choice question. Run into the downpour soaking wet. Physically impossible, you've got your phone and laptop in your bag. Walk to a convenience store. Buy a new umbrella for $3.75. That's a loss. You already bought one this morning. Or take someone else's umbrella from the rack. There are dozens there, all identical transparent ones from convenience stores. What would you choose? Be honest. Choose option 3 and a game begins. A takes B's umbrella. B gets to the rack, finds theirs missing, takes C's. C takes D's. D takes E's. Infinite loop. Every rainy evening, the same silent shuffle. People standing at umbrella racks, hesitating for just a second before grabbing one that isn't theirs. Nobody makes eye contact. Everyone understands the rules. Then one day you catch them. You'd marked your umbrella with a small piece of tape just to see. And there it is in your coworker's hand. You point it out. The thief's response, and this is a direct quote I heard from someone this happened to. Yeah, my bad. I'll buy you a coffee next time. You're standing there in front of this sentence, and there's nothing to say. The umbrella costs $3.75, the same price as a coffee. Coffee money fixes this, becomes the moral framework. The entire ethical system collapses into a transaction worth less than lunch. It is not theft. It's a small debt. It's something we can settle casually, socially. We have a principle: don't touch other people's things. But if the thing costs as much as a coffee, if everyone's done it, if you've had yours stolen before, the principle gets fuzzy. The boundary softens. Objects have a hierarchy we don't talk about. Laptops are sacred, untouchable, protected by cameras and serial numbers and criminal prosecution. Umbrellas are profane, disposable, fair game. And then there's the compensation psychology that makes it all feel reasonable. I got my umbrella stolen last month, so it's fair if I take one now. We can be flexible over coffee money. It all evens out eventually. This is how we justify ourselves. This is how the loop sustains. So I keep coming back to the same question. Where does our morality end and the CCTVs begin? What percentage of that 77.2% cash return rate is conscience, and what percentage is fear? Somewhere between the laptop and the umbrella, there's an invisible line. We all know it's there. We can feel it when we approach it. That line isn't priced, not exact. A $20 item can be sacred. A $500 item can be profane, depending on context. The line is determined by 2 variables: surveillance density and punishment severity. 20 million cameras and 100% dash cam coverage on one side. The weight of criminal prosecution, social shame, career destruction. On the other side, coffee money, an apology, a laugh. I don't have the answer. I'm not sure there is one, but I think we should feel a little uncomfortable sitting with the question. Because the question isn't really about Korea. Does your country have laptops and umbrellas? Is there coffee money somewhere in between? Items that are cheap enough to take, common enough to justify, necessary enough to rationalize? Korea isn't special. We're not more or less moral than anywhere else. The boundary line is just more visible here. The surveillance infrastructure made it stark. 20 million CCTV cameras ask us one question every single day. Where does your conscience sit? In that space between the surveillance camera and the price of coffee? Between criminal and casual? Between theft and borrowing? I think you'll have to find that answer yourself. I'm just here to ask the question. Think about it.